Hello everyone. This is going to be some Q&A practice for the 160 class, and we're going to start off with defense questioning. Ready? How about your knee? Would that be an aching or sharp stabbing pain or someplace in between, or what? No, like sore muscles. You don't have any problems with your knee at the present time? No. You are not having any problems except what you described with the tailbone? Right. So the only area we're really talking about today is your arm and your shoulder and the headaches that you are having? Yes. Can you describe to me in your own terms what you are feeling in your right shoulder generally? Not necessarily this instant, but over the past month, say. I have a very sharp aching pain here and in the back of the arm. Let me stop you a minute. Now, when you say here, we read the transcript later and nobody will know what you are talking about when you say here. You ran your hand about 6 inches from the top of the shoulder down, I guess, the lateral aspect of your arm, the front and rear of the arm. All right, you have a sharp pain there? Yes. Is that constant? No, with movement. With movement, okay. And then the shoulder, right shoulder, and up into the neck area, all through there is sore. And through the shoulder blade area is sore. It is like a constant pulling. The area of the upper shoulder, the neck, and the shoulder blade, that is constant, a pulling type of sensation. An achy, sore feeling. Now you get occasional sharper pain just below the shoulder in the right arm, on movement of the arm and shoulder, I assume. Yes, and through the back. Okay, when you get that sharp pain there, does that also affect your back? Yes. Do you feel the back more? I just feel the whole area. All right, now when you get that shooting pain, how long does it last? It can last for hours depending on the type of activity. All right, it isn't as continuous as it was before, but it is a movement type. You are still in front of me this afternoon. Since you have been there, you have been resting your elbow on the arm of the chair. Are you able to straighten your arm out? There was nerve damage from the top of the shoulder down to the elbow, and the lifting action of the arm doesn't always work. Can you straighten out like that? Today, no. Your hair is nicely done. Can you brush your hair yourself? Not with this hand. Can you brush your teeth with your right hand? I have to do it with my left hand. All of your facial makeup and so on is done with your left hand? Uh-huh. Is that yes? Yes. Have you experienced any loss of grip in your right hand? I can't lift anything or grip anything unless I hold the arm. Go ahead. Well, it's a matter of going like that. I can do it. Excuse me. If I understand you correctly, a couple of moments ago, this is because of nerve damage in the shoulder? That's correct. Is that what Dr. Pacone told you? That is correct. Has he given you any prognosis for the future insofar as the nerve damage is concerned? He told me he wanted me to have an operation for the pain. Did he indicate that would improve the nerve problem? No, it would not. Did he tell you what kind of an operation he planned on doing? I don't remember. Okay, so we're going to stop there and switch transcripts. We'll go back to the one we've been working on with the sexual harassment case. The city of San Diego. This is defense. By play with himself, you mean touch his private parts? Yes. Okay, let me go back here. So you would see him on Friday and Saturday 2 to 3 times a day? Yeah. Would he come over to observe what you were doing when you were doing the custodian work? He would come over there and observe the work, yes. And then on Sundays, you said usually you worked on Sundays. Would he come by on Sundays? No, he's off Sundays and Mondays, only Fridays and Saturdays. Okay, and obviously you wouldn't see him at nighttime. I would see him when I come and sign in after 3 because he don't leave until like 4 or 4:30, something like that. Okay. He didn't leave until later. He left at 4 or 4:30, but people that come in at 3, we see him because the sign-in sheet is in his office. Okay, so you would come in, sign in, and leave within a minute? Yeah, I leave. All right, then we had started off with the beginning of the 5 years. That's how often you would usually see him. Did that continue throughout the whole 5 years, or at any point did the schedule change? My schedule changed. At one point, did you start seeing him more or less? When my schedule changed? Let me go back. Let me start over. That was not a very good question. When I asked you how often you saw him at the beginning of the 5 years, when you started working there, you told me when you signed in, and you saw him a couple times during the day. After that point, did it change during the 5 years to where you saw him more or less, or was it always about the same? About the same routine. Come back, check, ride around in the cart, check, ride around the same. Nothing further at this time. Counsel? So during the entire 5 years that you worked with Nick Carter, you would see him when you would sign in the morning. You would see him when you signed in. I think you said it was in the morning, correct? She said it was the morning. When I said you, I meant her. You would see him in the morning for about a minute, and then you were working. He would come and observe you. Yes. This would continue throughout the entire 5 years. You would work with him. Yes. Okay. And there was no change when you would have to spend more time in the office, so to speak, when you would go into the office on a daily basis. Instead of just signing in for 1 minute, maybe you would have to stay for an hour or 2. No, I would leave. When he first touched me, I sign in and try to take off, only if I need to sign some papers or he need me for something basically. I was trying to stay my distance. I understand that you were trying to stay your distance once you felt threatened by Mr. Carter, but before that, were you also staying your distance? No. But you would historically throughout the entire 5 years you would work with him. You would see him in the morning for about a minute or so on occasion when he would come and observe you working. Yeah. And that would be the only time you would see him? Yeah. Nothing further. Thank you. So how often did you talk with him? When it was needed. When he needs me to fill out a slip or tell me I need to work at another building because someone has come in or asked a question about something. Okay, it's pretty much just business talk. Yeah, I don't socialize with him like that. When he asked me something, I answer when he need me to do something. When it pertains to work, that's it. After he did that, I stay my distance. When I see him coming, I try to go the other way unless he says, Peyton, come here. I need you to do this. Something like that. So the first time he bothered you, before that point in time, was it pretty much the same? It was just business and no socializing? It was the same, but I was like, talk to him, like if he come up and he was like, how you doing? But when he did that, I walk off. I won't stay there in his surroundings. If he and another coworker is standing there, he come up, I drift off because I know what he was doing. I wouldn't stay there and talk with him. I was trying to stay away from him. So after he first bothered you, you would also try to stay away from him. Before that point in time, would you ever stand there and chat with him? Yes, I would. For a long time? No. Just a very brief time? Yes. And when was the first time that he bothered you in any way? June. June of? 07. I just know it was June because it was a graduation. Do you know what year? 2005. What happened? I was on my cell phone. It was lunchtime, and he came down the ramp and took his hand and went down like on this side, took his hands and came down my back and went straight across my behind. I was on the phone talking to my boyfriend. Okay, and that concludes our 160 Q&A practice. Have a great day.